How we doing, everybody? In today's video, we will be going through how to reset your WordPress install. In case you made a mistake, need to start over, here's how to do it. Let's go. Okay, so let's say that we have a full website installed here, and what we really want to do is just reset it. At our agency, we sell WordPress themes, and we have people ask us all the time, you know, I messed up on the install, or I just don't love this layout anymore, it's not going to work for me, but I don't want to reinstall WordPress from scratch on my web host. How do I go ahead and just restart it? So the great thing about WordPress, as always with a lot of things, there's a great plugin that's going to help us with this. So we have two big parts to this process. Number one, we're going to go ahead and quickly delete a bunch of stuff manually. And then secondly, we'll use a WordPress plugin to reset our database, since that gets a little techie, and we will be fresh and restarted and ready to go from scratch with WordPress. So let's go ahead into the back end of our WordPress theme here, of our WordPress website, and let's go ahead and first, let's get rid of all of our manual things that we need to get rid of. So actually the first thing we'll do is let's go ahead and over to plugins. Let's get a backup of our website saved in case you're not on a host with a good backup, daily backup of your website. If you're not on a host there, then you should just use a plugin to grab a quick backup of your website. So let's go ahead and add a new plugin, and let's search for backup. And we'll see several backup kind of options that happen here. One really easy one to use is this one here called All-in-One WordPress Migration. So we can go ahead and just install that. It has 3 million active installations, so it's a very popular plugin. So we can install that plugin and activate it. And this is going to let us take a backup just in case we need it. We figure out that we want to go ahead and do a backup. So we can just go ahead to All-in-One WordPress Migration. Once we activate the plugin, it'll show up in the left menu here, and then export is where I went to. And then we can export. Let's take a look at the file size. Okay, file size is about 88 megabytes, and it's going to let us go ahead and just download the whole site. Okay, so that's going to download and back up actually our site files. That's what it's going to do. So your site is made up of your website files plus the information that's in the database. So this backup is going to let us grab a backup here of our website files. That way, and we have it in the background in case we want to import it back when we're done. What we're really doing today is just wiping and resetting our website, but now we have a backup just in case. Okay, so let's go ahead into the manual part of deleting out a lot of the things now that we have our backup saved in our setup here. So let's go ahead and go into, let's start with our plugins. So we can go ahead into our plugins, and the first thing we need to do to get rid of all of our plugins that we don't need anymore because we're going to reset our WordPress website is to select all of them and deactivate them. So we just need to deactivate them first. It's going to ask me if I want to take a backup, but we already did that, so we don't need to do that. So let's go ahead and deactivate them, and then we can select them all again, and then we can go ahead and delete. It won't let you delete until you deactivate. So that's one thing you need to make sure you do first. All right, now our plugins are all deleted, so that's great, and we have those out of the way. The second thing we can do is we can go ahead into our pages list, and all the pages that may have been set up in this test website that we had set up. We had a website set up for courses and all that kind of stuff. We can go ahead and delete all of our pages as well. So let's go ahead and move to the trash, and then we're just going to simply go to the trash and delete them. So I'm going to get rid of that. We'll go to trash, and we'll go ahead and just empty trash. And now we have all of our pages gone. So we've gone ahead and done our plugins and our pages. So we're set there. Let's go ahead to Appearance Themes. And under here, we have 2021 activated. If you have another thing activated, you just need to get one theme activated before you can delete the rest. So I usually just go with 2021. That's the default WordPress theme these days. So we can go ahead and go into our theme details of all of our other themes that we have installed, and we can go ahead and delete those as well. Okay, so now we just have our 2021 theme that's left over. So we left one theme active just as a default. You always have to do that, so that's great. So now we've gotten rid of themes, we've gotten rid of our plugins, and we've gotten rid of our pages. Let's check to see if we had any posts that migrated in with our old site. We did have this one default dummy post. We can go ahead and just get rid of that, go to our trash and empty trash on our post. So now we're free of all of our posts as well. So that's one last manual migration we need to do. And then we can go into our media. That's kind of our last setup here. So normally your default media is going to load in this grid right here. In order to get rid of all of them, we can bulk select all of them here if we want to. So I just selected the first one and then held shift and selected the last one and then delete permanently. Hit OK, and it's going to go ahead and get rid of all of our media. So now we are free of all of our media. So we've got our media clean, we've got our posts clean, we've got our pages clean, and we've got our themes clean. So now we're nice and clean and we're looking good. The last part, this might seem that we're reset here, right? So if I go back to the front end of my website and I actually look at what I've got here, you can see here that I've got a pretty clean site. But what we might be missing is that whenever you install a template on WordPress or a theme or really anything, any sort of theme or template that you install, it's going to put stuff into your database. Okay. So what we want to make sure is that we get our database cleaned as well. All right. So our database needs to be cleaned as well. Let's go back to our plugins here. Okay. We've got no plugins. Let's go ahead and add a new plugin to do this reset on our database. And all we're going to do this is just search WP reset. So we're going to search WP reset, and in our list here that we have available to us, we'll see a WP reset plugin here. It's the top one here to the left. So let's go ahead and install that and then activate it. All right, and our WP reset plugin here is here and available to us. So let's go to tools and then WP reset. And what it's going to do is give us our reset options. Okay. So we can go down all the way through our options here. We can select all the options that we need to do to go ahead and just do this database reset. So it's going to show us what it's going to do to reset all of these. We don't have Pro, so these two Pro options won't matter, but all we need is really this middle column here, which is our site reset. So that's what it's saying it's going to do. It will delete, reset or destroy the noted data. That way it's showing that delete icon is going to show us what it will delete. Okay, so we'll go ahead and scroll down here and we can go ahead and hit reactivate current theme. If we want to reactivate 2021, we can do that just to give it an active theme. And then it will reactivate the current active plugin. That's just this reset plugin that we're going to delete anyway. So we don't need to do that. We can actually leave that and we can get rid of this reactivating the WP reset plugin. It's going to ask us to type in reset just to confirm. So let's go ahead and reset there. And we will go ahead and hit reset site. Okay, so it's going to ask us if we're sure. So just so you know, this is going to delete anything. I mean, we don't have anything left to save, but this will go into the database and get rid of, just do a sweep clean through the database to make sure we really are ready to kind of reset and start from scratch. Okay, so let's go ahead and reset WordPress. It's going to say it's in progress. So we just wait a second for it to do this reset for us. And now you can see we are back to default WordPress. You can see you get this nice welcome message. And we have our test site here, and we can see here that we are back to our default WordPress. So it did go ahead and give us our default WordPress posts back, but you can see here we don't have any pages. Well, here's all the default pages that come along with what we have going on. And let's go to plugins. We do have our WP reset plugin. So what we can do to completely make sure we're back to scratch here is we can go ahead and delete that as well. And at this point, if we go back to our dashboard, we're actually ready now to start over. So if you need to reinstall that theme or you need to reinstall whatever you need to do, you can do that pretty easily here. And so that's an easy way to reset your WordPress website. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments. We're more than happy to help. Hopefully this was helpful and taught you how to reset your WordPress website back to scratch so that you can start from scratch and you can get going on your project again if you need to in the future. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and like the video below, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.